Hi.
And welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
And today we want to talk about making your RV your own.
I feel like we've done that with this one.
We want to talk about some of the things that we've done to make this our own.
Yes.
This RV,
Yes.
the big things we were looking for, this had all of them except
Twin beds.
And so this model had a walk-around queen. And so having watched some other YouTube channels, it kind of gave the idea of, hey, we can take out that walk-around queen and put in twin beds. And so
The closet was over on one side. We got it moved to the middle so that the beds are definitely separated.
And honestly, that helps a lot. We do not live in this full time. We don't live together when we're not traveling. We each have our own homes, and so that just gives us a little bit of separation.
And a shout out to Handyman Ministries, Billy and Bobby Bates. They did the work in here. We took out the stove. They put drawers. They put drawers under my bed.
Tons of storage. And
more than you can imagine.
And the other thing is, when we were doing the twin, and I'm pointing because they're right there, is because we now have much better use of that space.
Yes.
When you're traveling with pets, the pets all need a spot that they know is their own. And so under my side, I wanted a dog crate. Theo loves his crate, and he knows that's his. And so I just wanted mine built up so we could have a dog crate put under there. That's usable storage. The nightstand that was on the other side, we were going to be losing.
Yes.
And so Billy was able to take that top of that nightstand and make a cat perch for us, and Patches knows that's hers, and she has enjoyed that some today. Mattresses.
On Amazon, we found the mattresses. They were $76, which is a great price for something that...
We're going to do an entire video on the mattresses,
Yes.
because bottom line is, if you have an RV, you may find it challenging to find a mattress that is the perfect size for your RV.
Without buying through an RV site where they cost much more.
So with these gel foam mattresses, we got them and were able to cut them to size. And let me tell you, they're comfortable. Like I said, I slept on it last night. It feels a lot like the foam mattress that I'm sleeping on at home now. And so they're very comfortable, and you know, it was not a huge expense, and so that's something that you can customize for yourself.
Yes.
That is the bedding area, and as Mylena mentioned, we took out the oven and stove. And
we had cooked on the stovetop.
We cooked on the stovetop 3 or 4 times.
And in the oven once.
When we're cooking on the stove, if we can, we're going to use our camp stove at the picnic table.
Yes.
We prefer that. It's a propane stove. This was a propane stove. If we can't use it at a picnic table because it's rainy or windy or too hot or too cold or whatever, we can use a propane stove, our camp stove, in here. And so that gave us 2 drawers that a lot of storage.
Yes.
And a much better use of that space. And so while we were having things done, decided we wanted to go on and do that as well.
We have a friend who sews. And she's not a seamstress, but she sews. And so Sharon had gotten the material.
And actually, I didn't buy the material for curtains. I thought we might use it as a wall hanging, but then it was a material we had.
And we knew we wanted them back heavily.
Well, the blinds that come in RVs, if you've had an RV, the kind with the little string on the end, if those things mess up, you're messed up.
Yeah, they're messed up forever.
And so we wanted curtains, and we're going to show you these whenever they're open and they look beautiful, but it's night. We got these backed with, see, it's night, that's why it's dark out there, with a microfiber blanket.
Yes.
And I tell you what.
To purpose.
These things block out a lot of light. And
the other reason we wanted a kind of heavy backing, if you've watched Channel much, you know that we do a lot of summer traveling, and sometimes to hotter places than you can imagine. This will keep out a bunch of that heat when we're traveling in the middle of the summer.
There have been a couple of times when we have taken towels and like hung them from the, just to block out that
and
radiating heat.
And
blankets and stuff to block out that radiating heat. And you can feel it cool it down. Well, we're thinking this is going to do kind of the same thing
and look better. And then in the bathroom, it had a closet, a nice closet, which is great. When we camp, we don't take anything that would require hanging.
Yeah, we have just bought a door hook that we've put on the edges, and so we can hang some coats, jackets right here.
And in the closet.
And then in our closet, that's, by the time we each get a heavy jacket and a lightweight jacket,
that pretty much takes care of it.
Of our hanging clothes.
So in the bathroom closet, we had Billy put in a shelf.
And that shelf is removable. So it's just sitting there. We can flip it, store it at the side, and have that whole big open area.
If we need it.
If we needed it for anything. So another little thing that I did, a couple of things that I've done outside, I'm going to show you some pictures of this.
Now, in case you don't know, probably 90-95% of all bay doors are keyed the same. And you can order new locks, but there actually are a lot of things you have to know about your lock. How long is this part? How long is this part? What's the angle on the curve here, etc. So there really are several things that you have to know. Well, I had talked to a locksmith that was local, and I had him key some locks, brought them over here, and they were the wrong size. Fortunately, it was local. I hadn't ordered them online. And so then I decided a simpler solution, and one where I don't have to worry about making sure all of those things are right. I simply took my lock off, carried it over there, and had him rekey the lock that came off of it. And to remove your lock or to put your lock back on, it's really super simple. There's a screw here that holds this little tongue. You loosen it up. When you take your lock off, you may have to push it a little bit to get it to all slide out, but once you get it all slid out, just keep everything on the lock exactly in the order that you took it off. Carry that to your locksmith, and then when you get it home, unscrew this with the little washer that's attached. Take off that part that's actually going to be the lever to lock it. I now will push this back on. Take this, the part that, for mine, the part that grips. Tighten this back down. And hand tight it. I'm going to tighten it just a hair more. Make sure it's on there good and snug. And take the part that moves, put it back on here. I had this locked when I took it off. I'm going to make sure it's in the locked position as I put it back, and then everything should work exactly as it did before. Tighten that screw back down. I now have my new keys. I will verify that this is going to work. Get that on there, and it's working like a charm. And I didn't have to worry about having the right measurements, exact measurements for everything. Just use the lock that I had. It may not be the right answer for everyone, but it worked for me.
Another thing is, with the fifth wheel, the propane tanks, we opened a door and I could see the regulator if this tank is empty and I need to swap out. I didn't want to have to constantly take the cover off of the propane tanks out front to see if I needed to switch tanks and get one filled. So I simply took a little mirror and some double-sided tape would have worked. What I actually had was Velcro so that I can look inside, see the mirror. All I've got to do is see, is it red or green?
Yes.
If it's green, we're good. Keep going. If it's red, I'll go in and take the cover off, take
Switch
a tank
tanks,
and go get it done. So just a little hack there that may save you a little bit of time. Oh, one other thing we did, because we lost our nightstand, I want to talk about this briefly, is it's not pretty, but took, the shoe things that you have that have different compartments.
That hangs on closet.
You get it hangs over a closet door. Made like a little nightstand thing for us. We each have 5 little cubby holes, 3 on the bottom, 2 on top to follow the curve of the front.
Yes.
I'll show you a picture of that. And it's, like I said, it's not beautiful, but it's highly functional.
Yes.
We can put our phones, our tablets, we're old women, whatever we need, our chapstick. I'm actually going to be putting some dog bags up there, probably store my keys up there, my glasses at night, things that you would use a nightstand for, or a night table, and we can use that. And then the other thing we did was we did add a mirror to the back of the bathroom door. It, in a small RV, helps it make it feel a little bit bigger.
One other thing we did was paint the wall at the head of the beds.
Paint. If you have an older RV,
it is perfect color. It looks wonderful.
But if you have an older RV and you don't like the interior, or a coat of paint can freshen it up and give it a whole new feel. So, anyway, we were inspired by seeing other people and some of the modifications and changes that they had done to be able to say, oh, well, if they did that, I could do this.
Yes.
Making that space your own is part of the fun of having an RV.
Yes, it is. One last thing. When you're making it your own, do what works for you. It's not about what works for everyone. It's what makes you and your family or your fellow campers comfortable.
Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.